We welcome everyone who is joining us this morning. And we just feel our connection with you. We feel our friendship. We feel our familyhood. Sometimes in Unity we speak of our world family. And it's true, we are a world family. We're all here flying through space together on this small ball. And sometimes we can look at our own families and see the friction and wish for a deeper connection. And Unity is here to remind us that that connection is always there beneath the surface. And so we take this time this morning to tune in to that oneness, to that deeper love that shines through all the storms of life. And we bless our world family, knowing that whatever conflicts are happening on the surface, that in time, we'll find that balance, that harmony that we deserve to experience as a family, and that is our true and highest nature. And today we will explore going deeper into that divine awareness.
Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. A state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Every thought becomes a prayer. With that in mind, let us bring into our awareness fully the knowing that we are all connected, and that the thoughts we think influence our lives, outpicture in our lives. I want to share with you some thoughts by Elizabeth Searle Lamb. Now do I relax and let God be the breath I breathe, be the steady beat of my heart, be the strength of every muscle, be the flexibility of every joint, the nourishment for every cell, the functioning of every organ, and be the comfort when I grieve. So relaxing and letting be, I am now filled with God's life, renewed with God's strength, made whole and radiant in mind and body as in spirit, rested, healed, and perfected in all ways, I rejoice and give thanks to God. I relax and let God be my life. And so it is. Amen. Well, good morning, Unity. Out there in cyberspace, cyberland, watching, and the few of us here in the room until we can meet again in person on April 3rd. So in solidarity with Ukraine, Sherry Lady started a trend last week and wore a sunflower. And we have that wonderful sunflower tablecloth, symbols of the Ukraine. So I have a few announcements to share with you. First of all, if you have prayer requests, here is my information. Feel free to call with requests of any kind for yourself, for others, or send me an email. And if you don't have pencil and paper handy, contact Gina in the office and she will make sure it gets to me. Next Sunday, the caterpillar and the butterfly, the cosmic dance of transformation. Dr. Saranae Smith will guide us through the wondrous cycles of life, death, and rebirth, which lead us on an inevitable path of transformation. Then we reopen in person for Sunday services as Unity of the Valley continues to balance safety with the joy of being together on Sundays. Next Sunday, okay, we still require proof of vaccination and booster, or in-person attendees will need to verify that they are fully vaccinated, including at least one booster shot. Please send in this information to Gina as soon as possible to minimize the document checking on Sunday mornings. Masking. As we wait to see the impact of the state lifting the mask mandate, masks will continue to be required at Unity for everyone's protection. The exception will be those presenting on the platform and while sharing refreshments in the fellowship hall. This reopening policy will be reviewed on a monthly basis. Yes, our live streaming of the services will continue. I want to tell you more about our Spiritual Community Support Fund. It's been used up. The coffer is empty. So with your support, OSCSF has been a vital support way to provide temporary assistance for people in our Unity community struggling to meet basic needs. To contribute, send a check payable to Unity of the Valley and include OSCSF in the memo line. Thank you for that. Our youth ed team is letting you know that an Easter party is planned for the children 5 years and older, and the Easter bunny will be there for the little ones. Check your bulletins and your weekly e-blasts for further information. And I do believe that the new bulletin is out for April. It may not have information on youth ed, but the e-blasts will. So will next week's announcements. And that's it for announcements. Did I miss anything? Anything else?
Great job, Inge.
Okay. So I think we have more music.
Yes, we're going to have a sing-along now. This is a really fun song requested by our Looking Glass team. They're going to use it with the youth there. It's called Show a Little Bit of Love and Kindness. It's kind of old-timey song.
little time to reach for joy and wear a happy face. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place. Show a little bit of love and kindness. Never go around with hatred's blindness. Take a little time to reach for joy and wear a happy face. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place.
Sing a song.
Sing a song.
Spread some cheer.
Spread some cheer. There are sad and lonely people everywhere. Be a friend.
Be a friend.
Show some love.
Show some love.
It will lift them from the dungeons of despair. Show a little bit of love and kindness. Never go around with hatred's blindness. Take a little time to reach for joy and wear a happy face. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place.
Offer help.
Offer help.
Bring some hope.
Bring some hope through the fainting and discouraged on life's road. See a need.
See a need.
Lend a hand.
Lend a hand.
There are many who are crushed beneath life's load. Show a little bit of love and kindness. Never go around with hatred's blindness. Take a little time to reach for joy and wear a happy face. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place. Show a little bit of love and kindness. Never go around with hatred's blindness. Take a little time to reach for joy and wear a happy face. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place. Sing a little bit when the days are dreary. Give a little help to a friend that's weary. That's the way to make the world a happy place. That's the way to make the world a happy place.
We have with us this morning to guide us through meditation on this happy place, Lori Craycraft. Many of you might remember Lori. She's our meditation leader, except we haven't had meditation in person for the last 2 years due to COVID. So here's Lori, and thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Inge. Good morning, everyone. Today, our meditation is on a passage from the direct teachings of the Buddha. The passage is called The Discourse on Goodwill. It's a loving kindness meditation. At the end of the reading, we'll spend a few minutes in silent prayer so that we can send our heart-filled love out to a world that is so much in need. So I invite you now to sit comfortably upright and mindfully, slowly close your eyes, relax, take a deep breath in, let it out. Take another deep breath in and just let it out, relaxing. And just take into your heart these words from the Buddha. No need to think about the meaning of the words because sound and meaning are one at a deeper level in consciousness. So let's begin. May all beings be filled with joy and peace. May all beings everywhere, the strong and the weak, the great and the small, the lowly and the powerful, the short and the tall. May all beings everywhere, seen or unseen, dwelling nearby or far away, being or waiting to become, may all be filled with lasting joy. Let no one deceive another. Let no one anywhere despise another. Let no one out of anger or resentment wish suffering on anyone at all. Just as a mother with her own life protects her child, her only child, from harm, so within you let grow a boundless love for all beings. Let your love flow outwards through the universe to its height, its depth, its broad extent, a limitless love without hatred or enmity. Then, as you stand or walk, sit or lie down, as long as you are awake, strive for this with a one-pointed mind, and your life will bring heaven to earth. So let's take a few minutes now in silent prayer supported by our wonderful musicians, and send your love throughout the world to all peoples, all creatures, and our Mother the Earth. Amen and amen.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
Thank you for that music. I actually feel that. Those words touch me deeply. So, today we are all about deepening our divine awareness. The bulletin description of today's talk says, Reverend Inge Tarantola will don her spiritual scuba gear for a deep dive into Unity's fourth basic principle. Well, that would be prayer and meditation, denials and affirmation. The first one being one presence, one power. The second one, the divinity of humankind, and John talked on both those topics earlier this month. Last week, Reverend Sherry Lady talked about the third principle on the power of thought. Today, the fourth, and then there is actually a fifth one, demonstration. So if these four principles are in fact true and we practice them, there will be demonstration in the outer, meaning that it will outpicture in my life and I will see results. Doesn't mean all the pain and struggles will go away, rather that our paths will be made smoother. People will appear in our lives to help us. We will be given the tools and skills to deal with the challenges at hand and the strength and courage to persevere. And we will know peace that passes all understanding. So today is not about how to pray or meditate so much as it is, I want to talk to you about how prayer and meditation and affirmations work in my life. I teach these classes, and some of you have taken these classes from me. So what I have to say today may sound familiar. And I hope I'm not slipping into my teacher role, sounding like I'm giving just another class. But I do hope to offer classes again soon, once we open up. So I brought a little lady who sits on my desk. She's a meditator. And I love to look at her and be reminded. So I'm giving Ryan a moment to zoom in, and maybe you can see her. She's just a lovely little figurine that keeps me focused. So the description of the deep dive and scuba gear was coined by John. Thank you for that, John. I love the metaphor of a deep dive. I learned to scuba dive 6 years ago on a fabulous yoga trip to Bali with our dear Donna. Okay, thank you for that. So, better late in life than never. So when I'm diving, I enter another world, another dimension, the underwater world. I wear the appropriate gear in order to set myself up for success and be safe. When I'm in prayer and meditation, denials and affirmation in my daily devotion, in order to succeed and be safe, I wear my spiritual scuba gear. I go into an altered state. Daily devotion is something that can include anything that helps you to feel closer to your divine self. It could be art, it could be music, it could be sacred readings, being out in nature, gardening, whatever it is that speaks to your inner self, your divine nature. In John 14, we read, "In my Father's house are many mansions," or dwelling places, depending on which translation you get a hold of. And another fitting word might be dimensions. So we heard this song, "When I Go Deeper." When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper. That really speaks to what I've just said. It really helps me go to that place, that deeper place. In fact, sometimes I get downright choked up when I hear that song. There's a Unity writer named Richard Lynch, and he wrote on prayer and meditation, and he said, "They connect and align us to our own spiritual nature and to God. Let us make our affirmations in accordance with absolute truth. Positive thought, so expressed, produces health, peace, and perfection." Let me repeat that. This is important. Positive thought, so expressed, produces health, peace, and perfection. Wow. I know that to be true in my own life. It also helps to bring into manifestation our heart's desires. And I can give you an example. I once did a workshop up in Port Angeles and was a house guest in a lovely home, in a beautiful setting with a pond, lovely landscaping, some ducks. I arrived late at night, so I didn't see all that until the morning. I look out the window and I go, wow, what an environment. How I'd love to someday be able to live in such an environment. At the same time, my husband was on a home tour and saw a house with a glorious sunroom, space and plants and sunlight streaming in, and thought, wow, wouldn't it be lovely to have a home that has such a beautiful sunroom? And guess what? We found that home. And we are living that dream. Of course, Leonard has since passed, but I'm still there. I'm still enjoying it. So, to the importance of prayer and meditation in my life, I want to share with you this anonymous prayer. I got up early in the morning and rushed right into the day. I had so much to accomplish, I didn't have time to pray. Problems just stumbled around me and heavier came each task. I whined, "Why doesn't God help me?" He said, "You didn't ask." I whined and I shouted and I grumbled. I tried every key in the lock. I cried, "Why doesn't he open?" He said, "You didn't knock." So I got up early this morning and passed before entering the day. I had so much to accomplish. I had to take time to pray. So, I mentioned denials and affirmations. They're very much a part of this prayer process that we call unity prayer. First, the denial, to delete past programming and negative thinking. I'm not denying the facts of what's going on in my life. I'm simply denying that these facts have any power over me. They only have as much power as I am willing to give them. I always have a choice. In any situation, I have a choice. And now I have made room in my life for something new to enter. So I claim my power to affirm the truth about the situation. Affirmations are positive statements, and we want to use present tense, not some nebulous future date. So I claim the right attitude, right thinking. Therein lies the power. An example. Up until now, I have been timid and shy. I think of myself as an introvert. And now I am ready to be bold and live up to my divine potential. That happens to be true for me. Maybe it's true for you as well. May Rowland was one of Unity's primary prayer ladies. She was director of Silent Unity for many years. before I ever got there. She said, prayer is the practice of the presence of God. I personally believe that all prayers are answered. Maybe not on my schedule, maybe not exactly the way I pictured. And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes it's like Spirit saying, no, this is not good for you. I have something much better in mind for you. Or Spirit might say, not yet. You've got some work to do before you're ready to manifest that in your life. In any event, in my experience, since I've been praying the Unity way, prayers are answered. Unity has a 5-step prayer method: relaxation, concentration, meditation, and by that they mean turning our attention inward, watching and waiting, realization, and thanksgiving. The song that we heard also, Our Thoughts Are Prayer, that opening song. We are always praying. Our thoughts matter. Our consciousness precedes us. We are on holy ground. It really matters what we think, what thoughts we hold on to. And the more we become aware, the quicker we can catch ourselves when we find ourselves going down that slippery slope of negative thinking. We don't have to do that. We can catch ourselves and say, not going there. Instead, I affirm whatever it is I want to see for myself, for my fellow man, for the world. There is no wrong way to pray. Sherry Lady said that last week as well. But how we pray makes a difference. And negative prayer also works. Do you really want to manifest that negativity in your life? Spirit doesn't care. Spirit, it does not judge. You want to affirm the negative? This is what you want more of? This is a generous universe. I'll happily give you what you ask for. So be sure to ask for what you want, rather than what you don't want. There's a pre-recorded prayer line here at Unity. Feel free to call night and day. Doesn't matter, 24/7, because it is pre-recorded. And there are 6 of us who share that prayer line. You might even recognize some of the voices. Just call the main number and it will direct you to that uplifting message. Whenever the going gets rough, that is another resource available to you. Another Unity writer, Ellen Davenport, said this: the process of affirmative prayer begins with a shift in consciousness, then in words. It is praying from a consciousness of God, from that higher self that is in constant contact with the divine. Affirmative prayer simply means to remember that whatever we ask for in prayer is ours. It's already ours. We affirm its availability. If you've ever been in our sanctuary, you'll know that by the prayer box we have these lovely little prayer request cards, and it says right there from Mark 11, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. So we can remind ourselves to avail ourselves of that affirmative action of believing. The most effective prayer of all might be wordless, a period of silence to align ourselves with what is and return to the wholeness that is our true nature. We can ask for a partner in prayer, somebody to help us hold the faith when our faith is shaken, when our beliefs are a little weak in the knees. Now to meditation. What's the difference between prayer and meditation? The simple answer is, in prayer we find ourselves speaking, And in meditation, we often find ourselves listening. But it's not that clear cut. I cannot take a scalpel and make a clear cut and say this is this and this is that. There is a lot of overlap. So however you feel prompted, it will be the right way for you. So again, thank you, Lori, for leading us in meditation this morning. And there are many different meditation forms. It doesn't matter. They're all good. You'll find the format that you want to resonate with. Once we open up, I will offer classes again in prayer and meditation. My personal method is one that's called passage meditation. And it was taught by Eknath Eswaran. And whenever I get a chance, I go down to his ashram in Tomales, California, and spend time in that magnificent environment with those beautiful people. I listened to a webinar just the other day by John Paul Roach, a Unity minister. He was being interviewed about writing a book called Unity and World Religions. He stated that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore studied world religions, and they included that there are basic beliefs and tenets that run through all the major world traditions. And it turns out that the 5 unity principles, today being the 4th one that I'm talking about, is universal throughout. All these 5 principles, universal throughout these major faith traditions. And that's what Myrtle and Charles culled from all the wisdom traditions to come up with these 5 principles. It is common ground because it's based on spirituality rather than on religions. Religions define dividing lines, and that's where the problem starts, in my opinion. Many wars have been fought about that. Which God is stronger? Which God is more powerful? My God is better than your God, and on goes the list. So I'm all about spirituality. I'm all about common ground. Let's talk about what we share, what uplifts us, what brings peace, understanding, tolerance. So when we reach out in prayer and meditation, the golden rule, affirmations and denials, and that beautiful song that our lovely singer sang earlier about how to be there for one another, how to show up in the world. That's what makes the difference. Let's shift from focusing on the difference between what we have in common ground, what unites us. My background is in Catholicism. Growing up, my understanding of God and prayer was rigid. I used to pray to God, some male entity up there somewhere that kept track of everything. But then I learned to pray the unity way. I started to pray from God. And when my heart and mind are in the right place, it feels like God is praying me. I enter an altered state. I find myself so connected with all that is. It is truly a spiritual experience. So I want to go a little deeper into defining how I understand God today. I already told you how it got started in the Catholic tradition when I had that image of this fickle entity that would mete out reward and punishment at random. And I lived in fear of this entity, this old man in the sky. I prayed for things and for God to do things for me. I begged, I groveled, I beseeched this fickle God and focused on all the negative things that weren't working in my life. So in the Old Testament, we can see an evolution of how mankind understood their God. You could argue with God. God would talk to you. You could bargain with God. And then understanding grew. And then Jesus came and gave us a whole new understanding. God is all about love. Love is mentioned in the New Testament so many times, it dominates. It's the dominating thought of the New Testament. And it's also about the kingdom, not out there somewhere. The Father and I are one. The kingdom of God is within you. It's an inside job. So has my understanding evolved of God. I see God as a presence, one power is what we say in unity. A life force, an energy field that pervades everything. It's the glue that holds this universe together. Lynn McTaggart wrote a book, The Field, where science and spirituality meet. I get really excited about that because it confirms what we already know to be true in our hearts. It already confirms what Myrtle and Charles wrote so many years ago, over 100 years ago. Teresa of Avila said, God has no hands, no feet, no voice but ours. We are that divine expression that expresses in us, as us, and through us here on earth. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe wrote, whatever you dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Wow, that's a quote that got my attention. So how can I get to that place of daring and be bold? I can tell you how it works for me. In prayer and meditation, in my daily spiritual practice, I gain the strength and courage to be bold, to feel that when I am aligned with Spirit, I'm setting myself up for success. I absolutely trust that I am being guided. So what are you putting off? What are you scared to start? What is on your to-do list that has been there for far too long? Begin it now. See what happens. You are guided. We are told to pray without ceasing. Rejoice always and give thanks in all circumstances. So let's look at that for a moment. Rejoice always. Be happy. Think positive thoughts, just like the song encouraged us this morning. And surround yourself with people that uplift you. Feast on things that inspire you. Pray without ceasing. St. Augustine said, thy desire is thy prayer. And if the desire is without ceasing, that prayer is also without ceasing. The continuing of our longing is the continuing of our prayer, meaning that we can trust our heart's desire. So when we check in with ourselves, and we can honestly say that my heart's desire is aligned with my highest good and the highest good of all concerned, then we can see a green light. We can be confident that we can move ahead with our desires and take those steps necessary. Give thanks in all circumstances. Brother David Steindl-Rast, a Benedictine monk, said in his book, Gratefulness, the Heart of Prayer, if the only prayer you ever pray is thank you, that is enough. So, when we take these three parts and put them into daily practice, and truly come from that space within, that divine spark, then we know we are on the right track. We've set ourselves up for success. We can work on our green growing edges. We can move forward. And as we say in unity, let go and let God. We've said our prayers, and now the rest is up to our higher power. And so it is. Thank you.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Wow, I love that song. It's new to me. What a great rendition and a cappella at that. Thank you to our wonderful music team, all of you, beautiful voices. And it is time to bless our love offerings. I invite you to recite it with me if you remember the words. divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. So feel free to mail in your contribution. Perhaps you are already part of our Simple Giving program, and we appreciate the support. Thank you, and thank you to all who made this service possible, to Bev for the lovely flowers, and for all of those who are watching this morning. Thank you.